Hey everybody, good morning. It is Saturday morning, May 13th at this end. Good to be here, and let's get right into it. It has been fascinating for me to have been off the grid essentially for much of the past 6 months. It has allowed me to, as I said last week, gain a little bit of perspective. And we talked last week about the book, Deep Work, that was recommended to me by a trader several months ago, Brian, one of our jellies. And I'll put a link to the Amazon site in the post here. It's called Deep Work, Deep Work by Cal Newport. The subtitle is Rules for Focused Success in a Distracted World, and it was a Wall Street Journal bestseller. And I highly recommend it. I have somewhat lived this for myself in terms of being able to, in a private way, kind of look back, look ahead, look inward. And not that I've figured anything out significantly, but it has provided me with some perspective, and it's provided me with renewed energy, enthusiasm, maybe a little insight that we're going to try to flow into, among other things, certainly the Trading After Dark community that we'll talk about. We have a tendency, I think, in this business to march to the rules of, at least some of us, not getting too high over the good times, not getting too low over the bad times. When life is done, it's a complete book. There's going to be everything, and we know we can't take any of what we accumulate with us, but we can certainly learn the lessons that are to be learned in this world. And at the same time, though, life is for me anyway, meant to be treated more abundantly, more emotionally. And I certainly wear my emotions on my sleeves. I think if you go back through all of the videos and the blog posts over the course of the last 10 years that we've been doing this, and if you flip through the book, you'll see everything, because that's kind of who I am to a fault. I do share my emotions and show my emotions on my sleeves, if you will. But I have a tendency to be a bit too stoic a lot. That at least that's the feedback that I get from folks. So, the ability to vent, the ability to celebrate, that's one of the things that we're going to gain, I think, from this growing community. Anyway, as both an individual and as a group this week, I enjoyed, not that I traded well every day, but I enjoyed the camaraderie. I actually enjoyed even some of the challenges that I had, some of the market misses that I had, and as well as the successes. Thank you, by the way, for allowing me to indulge on Twitter this week when I posted that tweet. I think I said something like, in 25 years that I've been doing this, I've never really essentially bought within a few ticks of the low of the day, held all day long in an intraday account, and exited really at the end of the day. Again, within a couple of ticks of the high. I've never done that before, so allow me to celebrate a little bit. That's a chart that if when you do have that at some point, just put it on your wall, or put it in your notebook that you can flip to as a this is. And as I said in one of the follow-up tweets, this makes up for all the times, excuse the expression, that you're a dick for a tick. You're trying to catch that actual. Maximum level of profitability or maximum entry, and you miss it, and then you hang on a little bit more, and then you may turn your profit into smaller profit or even a loss or scratch. So and all those times where the entry that I had in there, I told the team, the group this week, actually was not one of those buy now. It was actually in there ahead of time. It was sitting there because I felt confident about it. And so it executed, and then the exit was actually done live. It was done. Okay, here's where I want to get out, and I did it right there on market orders. So you have that. Put in your binder. Celebrate. Remind yourself that this is good. Remind yourself that it offsets all the other, not all the other crap, but a lot of the times where you're missing for various reasons, and it all evens out. If you remember the book, The Scattergraph, that we had of the days of profitability. You're going to have some outliers to the top. I think this was 9 years worth or whatever by day. You're going to have some outliers to the top, some outliers to the bottom, and then you're going to have your scatter graph really focused around the plus or minus the zero line, with most of the stuff above the zero line, of modest profitability. You'll have a smaller data set as negative profitability. And again, you'll have some outliers. You'll have some horrendous days. You'll have 4 or 5 days from hell over the course of a year. It just happens. And then you'll have some positive outliers as well. And so that, and there's the whole story. There's the book of your trading essentially for the year. And so, in the scheme of things, it wasn't huge in terms of profitability. But if you were to have a similar scattergraph in terms of the skill that you have been able to demonstrate or fulfill for yourself, you could probably plot your scorecard with a similar graph, and it'd be one of your outliers at the top. So you have those sorts of days. Give yourself a little pat in the back, kind of smile a little bit, and then kind of forget about it and move on. And so again, thanks for allowing me to indulge you a little bit in that. So what have we learned this week in terms of let's talk about the community. This is different. This is very different for those of you who have maybe wanted to be involved with some of our other efforts, the live efforts that have had a bit of a steep fee. We've tried to keep it manageable still, but certainly there's a financial commitment to be involved in talk about deep work, right? In a very, very in-depth way. This is different. This is tailored toward those folks that really want to be part of a very serious community that is focused certainly for a couple of hours every evening, except for Fridays. And where we can certainly remain in touch over the course of the trading day, and I say the trading day, Europe, U.S., Asia, but certainly more limited over the course of the U.S. day. And one of the lessons I again had reinforced with me this week was my continuing mantra over the U.S. session is so poor most of the time for intraday opportunity. It just is. And the prime session, the prime time, 60-70% of the time, not always, because the U.S. will get some good stuff. 60-70% of the time is in Europe, or toward that end of the Europe session where you're looking at 6 to 9 a.m. Eastern time, where Europe's kind of doing its midday thing. Friday was a great example where Europe had really put its low in. It had put its morning low in, and ES had put its low in right on support from Thursday, right where the move started happening midday on Thursday. So Europe comes down, it sits. The U.S. comes down to support, it sits. And then as the U.S. is waking up, the U.S. world, the U.S. nation is waking up, a nation of traders, and you get some volume coming in, you get some delta, some cumulative delta, which is our F6 screen that we talk about. You just have some gorgeous trades, gorgeous trading opportunities, very well thought out, very well planned, very well executed, a good rhythm. Market's not moving all over the place. You see the chart, you see the settling, you see the delta turn in, you can get it with some size, and you manage it. This was before certainly the 8:30, I think was it retail sales or whatever the economic news came out. And then you had opportunities over that, buying in the mid 80s, and then scaling out into 90. And that's the type of trading that I would describe as optimal in terms of opportunity, pace, rhythm. And that's what this community is geared toward. And we're going to do a little bit more going forward with this. We didn't do as much this week with Europe. We were kind of there, but we're feeling our oats, if you will. We're very intense at the end of the day when we had our group session. But I want to do more with Europe in terms of just reinforcing that. Now, one of the challenges that I've always had with the community, and I've been involved with various communities, my own, others, for over 20 years, is the ability to not distract from focus, from my focus, from your focus, because we're traders. We're traders, and that does require a good amount of focus. And you can't be taken off your game by being distracted. And we talk about this deep workbook, right? That can be very, very dangerous. So we're trying to be very careful anyway of when we communicate, that we keep it extremely limited over the course of the day, or when trading may be active at any point in time. Frame it, right? Frame it, stay connected, but not lose focus. The other thing that I mentioned to people is I don't ever want to get in a situation where if you're trading well, I don't want to mess with that. I don't want to mess with that. I have certainly my own views of this market that have proven, time has proven for me that it works in different ways of looking at the market, my own way of looking at the market. But if things are working, I don't want to mess with anybody's success. Again, this is not a money grab exercise. This is a okay. Can we gain collective strength and insight together, and frame it in such a way that when we are actively trading on our own, we have that support group behind us, but we are focused and we're able to execute and see things. And so that's really what this is about and how it's evolving. I put together a data sheet that I'll keep a link in this post that really talks about what this is about. And let me just go through this really quick. Missions: provide a supportive team forum for traders primarily outside of U.S. daytime trading hours, emphasizing daily market assessments, intercontinental transition opportunities, and peak performance attainment. And so I'm going to skip down to the middle part for a second. Rooms going to be open 24/7. Primary focus is going to be 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern time, Monday through Thursday. Okay, some quality time where we can sit back. Asia's really not open yet. Nikkei doesn't open until 8 o'clock. It opens part of that, but Nikkei is typically range bound 8 to 9 before Shanghai opens, and Shanghai opens at 9 o'clock. So use that time, 7 to 9 p.m. The East Coast folks, hopefully through dinner, and just be together. What does the market tell us over the course of the day? Those of you that may be familiar with Morad, Future Trader 71, who does that really great opening for the U.S. session, it's kind of like that, but different in the evening, where we can now take a step back, because I do view all the opportunities, the major opportunities, as happening before the U.S. market opens the next day. And so I want to make sure that we, including myself as a trader, are prepared for that time frame. I want to certainly be prepared for the U.S. session, but if all the fish are gone, all the easy fish have been taken out of the barrel, if you will, that's what I want to focus on. And again, I see a void in this industry. I don't see the focus here. So anyway, that's what this is about. Room open 24/7, but primary chat 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern time. And we'll do market recap. We'll do the overnight assessment, and I will facilitate that. And then whatever other topics come up, we talked a little bit about what does it take for each of us to get the motor running in the morning. What does it take to have us, be able to be at our trading station with focus, so that we can execute during a time where our bodies may still be waking up. And we had a good chat on that in terms of when people got up, what they did. So that sort of thing that I want to do more of. And again, do a little bit more with Europe in the morning. So my objective going forward is to be here no later than 6:30 a.m. I'm going to try to get it to 6 a.m. where I am up at 5:30 a.m. My alarm's up at 5:30 a.m. I clean up, and I'm down here for 6. No later than 6:30, but ideally 6. Okay. And so kind of set the stage, likely be trading actively during that time as I normally do. And frame things as a group during that time, and then kind of frame the U.S. day, let the U.S. day play out, stay connected, and then focus on the evening chat and setting up the next day. Okay. Objectives. Let's go back up near the top. Review preceding U.S. RTH session, regular trading hours, brainstorm and plan potential Asia, Europe, next day U.S. transition opportunities. We've talked about the very logical transitions of it had happened again this week. U.S. to Asia to Europe. Okay, what happened Thursday, Friday? Asia opens, takes us down slowly toward U.S. support. Europe opens. Europe consolidated pretty much in the morning a great deal. Didn't have any upside triggers until, and it often does, by the way, but until the U.S. market, as I said earlier, started opening up, and then everything came back up. So there are these just clear transition opportunities. And if you're trading the DAX, you actually had that opening. Asia took us down. DAX opened, popped up. And would have been a great trade. DAX has become a bit of a tough trading mechanism lately, in my opinion, in terms of rhythm, pace, and volatility. But it was still there. So anyway, these the continental transition opportunities, we want to prepare for those. Strengthen and encourage each other. Iron sharpens iron. Hold each other accountable and to the highest standard. Provide a mechanism that has group text, audio, video, smartphone conferencing capability. We're using the Zoom platform. We are experimenting with that still, and and I'm probably going to stay with it because it does video and audio, and expand the use of that in terms of its complete functionality. Consider periodic single-issue topic discussions. Excuse me. Provide a network for pursuit communication of best practices and optimal trader tools. And this last one is very, very important to me. Keep any participation fees affordable to respect trader overhead budgets, maximize trader profitability, including discount waivers for past effort participation. I try to be very respectful of budgets because I have my own. I probably spend about, I was telling the group this week, probably close to $500, I think, a month between chart feeds, various services that I have, TickStrike being a good example, the one that has the audio mechanisms, like $40 a month. So fees, just general infrastructure, internet, conferencing, all that sort of thing. So I'm very respectful. I don't want to add to that a whole lot, but I do want to provide something that on a net basis gains profitability, that results in a minor investment that results in increased profitability. Because otherwise we shouldn't be doing this. If we can't have a tool, or be part of a tool that is not, helping us, improve our bottom line, it's not worth doing. So if this turns out to be that case, then it's not going to last. But I'm very encouraging. We've discounted for the first month. Live Jelly participants, certainly no fee during the first month. I mentioned last week that it's my intent to really never have them pay me another penny going forward. Talked to a few folks, and we have all agreed to a very modest $50 fee, just to cover the cost of infrastructure and cover maybe some cost of bringing some folks in, and providing even greater value, and just having a very nominal investment there for the live folks, and you can see what we've done for everybody else. So anyway, again, I'm excited by this. It is intended to, if I were to take all of this and boil it down to a couple of words, we talk a lot about love, uplift, and inspire, and the uplifting of each other, the knowing that we have a network of people, common liked people, common people with common likes in terms of methods and processes and ways to trade, and have that collective that does not take away from the individual focus over the course of the trading day. I think that's the balance that I've been looking to strike in any community, and I'm encouraged that this can do that. Something else that we're moving forward with, thanks to one of our traders, is that we are looking at automating some activity. You may not know, but I have it in the Jelly abbreviation tab here. The market delta, not market delta, but the cumulative delta triggers that we have that right now still require manual intervention, manual execution. But the F6 screen that Charlie Cochran has put out, that we use as a part of his package, just continues to provide such solid triggers, and we're working with one of the participants at some automation and some audio and all of that kind of thing in terms of alerts. And so this is where I want to go in terms of the benefits, and I hope to do more than that as we go forward. So enough of that, but if you're interested, we've got about 20 people right now. It's a mix of people who have been in the Live Jelly programs, people that have done the webinars. Again, and if you've done any of that in the past, certainly want to give you discounts on anything that we're going to do here. So that's that. Again, I'm coming back with a renewed perspective as I look at the charts here, and I look at Friday's ES chart, and I look at Thursday's ES chart. Horrendous. Despite the buy at the low and sell at the high, trade that I had in one of my sequences, but look at Europe. Look at 6 to 9. Look at the after dark opportunities. We talk a lot about doing what other traders won't, can't, or don't know how to do. You've got to get up earlier. You've got to be more aggressive. You've got to be timed exactly right, not too early, not too late. You've got to be there. And laziness, lack of commitment, lack of energy, lack of passion, frustration, disappointment from prior trade sequences, it's going to get in the way. It's going to get in the way. So, let's work together on this site, in this community, to allow us to find those areas of celebration, to have those that positive outlook, that mindset, that confidence level, that we can do what others won't, can't, or don't know how to do, and we can keep ourselves elevated there, and hopefully raise others to that bar. Not lower ourselves to other bars that are out there, but raise ourselves in life and in trading to a bar that is a bar of excellence, a bar of high standards, a bar of support, a bar where you will benefit, profit by, and then you can share those benefits however you so choose, with other traders, with other people in your life, and do the things that are most important to you. So again, thank you for your indulgence today and going forward. I'm excited. We will be back online early Monday morning in the site. If you have any interest, again, just email me, Don at donmillereducation.com, and I look forward to hearing from you. So again, thank you. Have a great weekend, and we will see you folks that are involved Monday. Take care. Bye.